Hello, yeah, welcome back. So like I normally used to say, if you like the content, you will like, subscribe, comment on the video, the YouTube, subscribe to my channel. Yeah, so let's dive in. Today we're talking about HTML, elements, and IDE. So first of all, let's talk about IDE, right? So IDE is an integrated development environment, right? You might be asking yourself what that really means. So what it means is an integrated development environment is a software application that helps programmers develop software code efficiently, right? You can actually code in a code pad. I don't know if you've not code pad, sorry, notepad, right? You must have heard of notepad or used one, maybe in the Windows system or any other OS. Yeah. So, but a notepad doesn't really give you this arrangement of your code, gives you colorful arrangement of code that you know which is which, what is a folder, what is a file, what is HTML file, gives you that all those what is it called? Extra attributes or additions that will help you code efficiently. The keyword is coding efficiently, right? So for example, we have VS Code is an IDE, right? Remember the last time I was showing you about HTML code? For example, we have this is an IDE, this is VS Code IDE, and that is what we are going to be using for this course, and that is what I'm using. You can always go online and download VS Code, go online, check VS Code online, then download it for your OS. If you're using Windows, no problem. If you're using Mac OS, they all have OS compatible VS Codes. Yeah, so VS Code is, I'll just maybe do a quick introduction. Like I said, it's an IDE. It helps you to arrange your files and folders. You know, let's say for example, we have something like this. This is a folder. So you see that the folder has this folder icon on it. You can name this anything, maybe because I just named the folder, I can just name it anything, maybe HTML, I can name it anything, but it is showing you that it is a folder. You know how you have folders and files in your system, maybe you go to my computer, you go to my documents, and you have folders and files inside it, right? That is the way the VS Code is arranging it here for you. It's arranging it here for you in this manner, and it gives you like what is it called? A tree arrangement. Let's say, for example, I want to add a file. You can see that it has already given me a tree arrangement that is showing me that the file I want to create is inside this HTML folder, right? Let's say I want to create HTML.html, yeah. So you see that this index.html is a file and has an icon of HTML5 icon. IDE, like I said, gives you, lots of different qualities to or additions that will actually make you code efficiently. I think most of developers use VS Code too. Yeah. So if you notice right now, it's showing giving me a tree structure of the folder of the folders or in my system, right? Like this is the root folder, tutorials is the root folder. It always shows you here. Then you have the HTML folder inside the tutorials folder, which has a file inside it. And also which has a file outside HTML folder too, index.html, right? So this line here is showing you that this guy is inside the folder. I'm just trying to give a quick introduction about this. Yeah. So you can always create a new file here. You can always create a new folder here. Then you can always refresh the Explorer. Maybe you added something or a new file, a new folder, and it's not appearing. You can always, try to refresh. And you can always collapse all folders. Once you click on this, all folders collapse. You can see that folders is collapsed. If I click on the folder again, it shows me this. Then you have this nice section here for open editors, right? Yeah. So yeah, then any file you open is going to be open here and highlighted that this is the open file. If I click on this, it's going to be highlighted as open folder. Yeah. So there are other qualities you can actually look it up, but yeah, that is the basic intro to VS Code. So we go into HTML elements, right? Now, remember in the last two videos I told you that HTML elements, I call them the skeleton of the HTML, the elements, the components of the body, the components of the website, elements of the website. I can always call it components of a website, not necessarily component, but elements, of a website, skeletons of a website. Yeah. So yeah, they are those skeletons that make up your website, Yeah. So for how to write them, you start with a tag name, then inside the tag name you have the content, then you have a closing tag, right? So this is the opening tag. This is the opening tag. You will use this what is it called? The less than and greater than sign to write the tag names, right? That is the way the browser is going to understand what you mean. I don't know. Yeah, I think you must have used um, MS Word before when you have like something like um, 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 header that has higher fonts, right? Let's say that is H1, although we'll get into that later on. Yeah. So you can just, if like I'm giving you an example of a tag name, H1, image, and the rest of them. Yeah. So A must have an opening tag and a closing tag, right? So this is how you write the opening tag, use less than and greater than, open and close, then inside it you write your tag name, then you have your content. Content is going to be any text, all right? Then also you have your closing tag. So its closing tag is the same thing with opening tag, except that you have a backward slash. Yeah, a backward slash that is before the tag name. That's what tells the browser that this is where the tag ends. This is where the content of the tag ends. I'm closing this tag here right now. Yeah. So let's say example. Yeah. If you go into the code that we had before, we have you can see we have the H1 tag, like we talked about, we have the opening and the closing, greater than or equal to greater than or less than sign. Then you have the closing one with the backward slash, the same thing with the P, So we'll go into the different tags later. Yeah.